Son, you did it. Even when everything around you seemed to push you to the ground, even when thoughts told you that you couldn't endure it, even when life screamed for you to give up, you still moved forward. Maybe you didn't run every day, maybe at times you only crawled, but you continued, and that's what changes destinies. There are people who win with strength, but there are others, even rarer, who win with resilience. And you belong to those who resist, even bleeding, even tired, even without knowing what tomorrow would bring. You succeeded because you didn't let pain have the last word over you. I saw every battle you fought in silence. I saw when you held back tears so as not to worry those around you. I saw when you put on a smile to hide the weariness that gnawed at you inside. I saw when you tried to be strong for everyone, even though you were the one who most needed to be embraced. I saw when you asked for help without words, when you tried to scream without making a sound, when you wished for just a sign so you wouldn't lose faith altogether. Your request did not go unnoticed. Nothing in your heart was ignored. I didn't let you fall because I already knew what was in store for you. You think you got here by chance, but it wasn't by chance. When your body gave up, my spirit sustained you. When your mind was lost, my hand guided you. When your heart broke, my presence stitched each piece back together. There's a reason why all the attacks that tried to destroy you failed. Your story doesn't end in pain. You weren't born to be defeated. Everything that was meant to kill you shaped you. Everything that was meant to paralyze you empowered you. Everything that was meant to make you doubt taught you to trust in a different way. Nothing was in vain. Many looked at you and thought you wouldn't go far. Some even bet against your victory, awaiting your downfall as if it were inevitable. There were those who believed your strength was an illusion, that your determination was temporary, that your brilliance would fade with the first contrary wind. But no one can measure someone who is sustained by heaven. You didn't win because you had everything. You won because you had faith. The faith that survives chaos is the most powerful of all. It doesn't feed on logic, it feeds on promise. You walked through nights that seemed endless, along paths where hope seemed dead, through phases where nothing happened and everything hurt. But even without seeing anything, you held on to the little you felt. Even without answers, you continued praying. Even without strength, you continued believing. Even without signs, you continued waiting. And now the moment has come to understand why the wait was so long. What is coming is not small. What is coming will not be fleeting. What is coming will not be snatched from your hands as it was before. I wasn't delaying, I was preparing. You've grown so much you didn't even realize it. Pain expanded your empathy. Loneliness matured your perspective. Waiting broadened your faith. Rejection strengthened your identity. The desert cleansed your relationships. Nothing you lost was essential to your future. I removed everything that wouldn't serve you in the phase you're coming. You didn't lose people. You were protected from alliances that would stifle your next stage. You didn't lose opportunities. I closed doors that would prevent you from living your best life. You didn't fall behind. I only prevented you from entering places where your value would be diminished. The blessing that is approaching has been ordained, and what is ordained by heaven cannot be stolen by earth. No one can delay what is coming. No one can block what is being released. No one can reverse what has been decreed. The time of resistance is over, and the time of fulfillment has begun. You are no longer fighting to be seen. Now you will be recognized. You are no longer fighting to be loved. Now you will be chosen. You are no longer fighting to survive. Now you will live in fullness. The process is over. The purpose has begun. But I want you to understand something deeply. You didn't win because everything was easy. You won because even when everything was difficult, you decided to keep going. The victory that is coming your way was built by every yes you said when the whole world tried to make you say no. You think you were alone, but the truth is, I was with you the whole time. When you were afraid of losing, I was preserving. When you were afraid of not being enough, I was strengthening. When you were afraid of being forgotten, I was writing your story more carefully. Now, breathe and receive this truth within your spirit. You are not about to win. You have already won. What is coming is merely the manifestation of what has already been decided. Life will not give you a prize. Life will give you back what has always been yours. You have come this far because you have endured, and everything endured with faith is transformed into honor. Son, you did it. And nothing and no one can stop the fulfillment of what has already been sealed. Son, now that you've come this far, I want you to understand something even deeper than the victory you've achieved. Nothing was taken from you. Everything was shaped for you. Every point of your journey was guided with precision, not to punish you, but to align you with the purpose you've carried in your spirit, since before you even understood who you were. What you thought had destroyed your identity, in fact, revealed your essence. You didn't emerge weak from the process. You emerged true. The strength you display today wasn't born from the absence of wounds, but from how you rose after each one. You had to face situations that seemed beyond your limit, not because I wanted to see you suffer, but because each layer of pain tore away pieces of the false version they created for you. Life tried to transform you into someone you weren't. People tried to impose an identity on you that never belonged to you. Rejection tried to convince you that you were worthless. Betrayal tried to convince you that you weren't worthy. Waiting tried to convince you that the promise wasn't real. But still, something inside you insisted on remaining. That something was my calling. When you looked in the mirror and saw someone being defeated by life, I saw someone being prepared to live a destiny that no one understands until it happens. You thought you were weakening, but you were letting go of what was too small. You thought you were losing, but you were being freed from what no longer suited you. You thought you were being broken, but you were being shaped. There is no construction without demolition, and I needed to remove the old foundations to build something new within you. And now that everything is falling into place, the world will see a version of you that few believed existed. The strength that lifted you will no longer be instinctive, it will be conscious. Before you fought not to fall, now you will walk to conquer. Before you were driven by the fear of losing, now you will be driven by the certainty that you have already won. Nothing will have the power to intimidate you in the old way. What threatens someone who has discovered that they are supported by the sky? What frightens someone who has learned to survive in silence? What paralyzes someone who has already hit rock bottom and returned to the surface stronger than before? You will no longer be guided by the need to be accepted, loved, or recognized. Now you know that those who belong stay. Those who love you remain, and those who see your worth don't demand that you diminish yourself to fit in. This new cycle will be marked by balance, people who treat you with respect, care, and reciprocity, opportunities that recognize your effort and don't exploit your kindness, paths that open up because they were tailor-made for you. There will no longer be the feeling of insisting on doors that don't move. What isn't yours will become clear. What is yours will come with fluidity. And this doesn't mean you won't face challenges. It means that now you will know how to deal with them without losing yourself. The world will no longer be allowed to control your emotions. You will no longer be shaken by words spoken in anger, by hasty judgments, by unfair comparisons. Your worth will no longer be in anyone else's hands. You have discovered that your dignity cannot be negotiated, that your feelings cannot be ignored, that your heart cannot be relegated to second place. Finally, you have found yourself. And when someone finds themselves, no one can make that person lose their way again. Life may try, but now you know the way back to yourself. That is your greatest achievement. And that is why the blessing was ordained. The promise doesn't come to emotional children. It comes to those who have grown within. You have grown. That is why the time for honor has come. Not honor to inflate the ego, but honor to restore who you have always been. Whoever once tried to extinguish your light will see that it never went out, it only matured. And before we move on to the next moment of this journey, I want to ask something in a sincere, human, and natural way. If this message touched you in a different way, if it reminded you of who you are, if it made you understand that you truly succeeded, that you truly won, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Not for statistics, not for numbers, but so that you can walk alongside someone who constantly reminds you of your worth. Here you will always find words that strengthen, that heal, and that rekindle your purpose. I also want to ask for an interaction that isn't an obligation, but a connection. If something within you was awakened by this message, please share in the comments which part spoke to you the most. It could be a phrase, a memory, a reflection, even a single word that summarizes everything you felt upon hearing this spiritual voice reaching your soul. Your response isn't just a comment on the screen, it's a silent testimony that touches the lives of others who are also struggling to keep going. And when you participate, you won't just be commenting, you'll be saying to the universe, I receive the new time that has been ordained for me. My son, there is a truth that few see, but that you are now prepared to understand. When a blessing is ordained, before it manifests in the outer world, it begins to transform the inner world. You perceive the change not because everything around you instantly alters, but because something within you ceases to be what it was. There is a calmness you didn't know before. There is a confidence that doesn't depend on circumstances. There is an inner silence that doesn't arise from the absence of problems, but from the certainty that nothing can prevent what has already been decided in heaven. True victory begins when the heart becomes greater than fear. You spent so much time believing you needed to see external signs to believe, but today you know that the first sign is spiritual. Before the doors open, you feel within yourself that you are capable of walking through them. Before the answer arrives, you feel that it already exists. Before the purpose manifests, you feel that you are already aligned with it. This feeling is not an illusion, it is maturity. When the soul matures, it learns to recognize what is destined for it even before touching it with its hands. That's why you realize you're no longer affected in the same way by words that once destroyed you. That's why environments that once suffocated you can no longer hold you captive. That's why conversations, attitudes, or glances that once deeply hurt you no longer have the same impact. It's not that the world has changed, it's you who has changed. And when someone changes from within, nothing in the world is allowed to steal the peace they've earned. You've won silent battles that no one saw, and that's why you will now experience visible victories that no one can deny. And before you think this transformation was small, look at yourself honestly. You no longer desperately seek acceptance. You no longer try to prove what you carry. You no longer cling to places and people just to avoid feeling alone. You now know that the most valuable company anyone can have is their own peace. Learning this wasn't easy. Learning this required pain, silence, detachment, and courage. But now you're free from the cycle that held your soul captive. This is a sign that something new has truly begun. Contrary to what many imagine, the miracle doesn't only happen at the moment of the blessing. The miracle has already begun when you decided to continue, when you chose to believe even when hurt, when you decided to trust even when tired. The miracle was already happening when you began to love yourself enough to say no to those who diminished you, to distance yourself from those who disrespected you, to refuse places that demanded you stifle who you were. The blessing will not come because you have overcome everything. It will come because you have learned to overcome without losing yourself. The time of emotional dependence, of fear of being abandoned, of worrying about what others think of you is behind you. That has been broken. You have been healed from a pattern that has accompanied you for years. Now you don't diminish yourself to deserve love. You don't erase yourself to keep company. You don't humiliate yourself to avoid being alone. You understand that true love never demands that you become less than you are. And because of that, now life will attract to you people who see your soul, who respect your heart, who recognize your worth, who stay not for convenience, but for connection. And while all this is happening within you, something even greater is moving outside. The heavens are realigning paths, bringing opportunities closer, removing distractions, undoing harmful emotional ties, and strengthening spiritual bonds aligned with your destiny. The next people who enter your life will not come to drain your energy, but to add strength. The next doors that open will not come to exhaust you, but to uplift you. The next environments you will step into will not come to make you hide, but to honor you. You are not entering a phase of struggle, but a phase of alignment. Now things will happen because they are in the right time, and so are you. There will be no weariness, no despair, no need to prove anything to anyone. What is yours will come naturally. What is not yours will go away without pain. You will be guided by peace. When something is not meant for you, your spirit will know. When something is meant for you, your heart will recognize it before any rational explanation. My son, you did it, and now you will see that the blessing was ordained not to fill holes of pain, but to exalt who you have become. It will come complete, stable, and secure. It will not hurt you only to heal you later. It will not arrive to cause anxiety. It will not be irregular. The blessing that is coming will not be a test. It will be a reward. It will not be a burden. It will be rest. It will not be agitation. It will be confirmation. And little by little, everything you endured will begin to make sense. You will see that you weren't wasting time, you were being prepared. You will see that you weren't alone, you were being protected. You will see that you weren't behind schedule, you were being aligned. Nothing was wasted, nothing was useless, nothing was excessive, everything was necessary. You didn't reach this point because of pain, but because of resilience. You didn't win because of suffering, but because you didn't give up in the face of suffering. Your victory will not be remembered as a coincidence. It will be recognized as a consequence. Heaven doesn't give you a prize for fighting. It gives you a harvest for persevering. What's coming now is too big to fit into the old version of you. That's why I first transformed your heart, and then I transformed your story. Son, now that your soul has begun to recognize the new time, it's important to understand why your blessing didn't arrive when you most begged for it, but rather when you finally matured. It wasn't rejection. It wasn't forgetfulness. It wasn't neglect. It was protection. You didn't realize it yet, but if I had released certain things when you were emotionally wounded, you would have lost everything quickly. Not because you were incapable, but because you didn't yet have enough strength to endure what you were asking for. Some victories require inner strength before they manifest externally. Purpose never denied you. It waited for you. During the periods of your life when everything seemed stagnant, I was moving you spiritually. While you thought nothing was happening, I was building security within you. Haste would have led you to the wrong place, with the wrong people, at the wrong time. But waiting led you exactly to the right destination, with the right maturity, with the right strength. Time was your training. And as someone who has prepared deeply, you are now able to live what you once desired without carrying the fear of losing it. You've been through situations where you felt diminished, ignored, misunderstood, discarded, and all of that created a feeling of inadequacy within you. But look where you are today. That feeling of not being enough no longer dictates your choices. That need to be accepted at all costs no longer defines your decisions. You've learned to walk away when you perceive disrespect. You've learned to protect yourself when you notice manipulation. You've learned to guard your heart when you identify emotional immaturity in others. You've become aware of your worth, and that awareness has shielded your soul. And because of this awareness, you are now able to recognize blessings, not just company. Before, any affection would do. Now you don't accept the bare minimum. Before, any opportunity seemed great. Now you discern whether it truly aligns with your purpose. Before, anyone could enter your emotional life. Now, only those who add value remain. Maturity has given you something no one can take away: spiritual discernment. This discernment is the line that separates the past that hurt you from the future that will honor you. What's coming won't be based on lack, it will be based on identity. You will no longer seek outside what now exists within you. You will no longer wait for external recognition to feel worthy. You will no longer allow the fluctuations of others to determine the balance of your heart. You have been emotionally repositioned, and everything solid is attracted to everything solid. Therefore, the blessing will not be fleeting. Therefore, the victory will not be unstable. Therefore, the new era will not be fragile. There will be a moment, and it's near, when you will notice a clear shift in the flow of your life. Doors that were closed will open naturally. What once arrived with difficulty will now arrive with ease. What once took years to happen will now happen in weeks or even days. It's not magic, it's alignment. When the soul is ready, the heavens accelerate. When character is strengthened, the promise is fulfilled. When identity is established, honor finds its owner. And don't be surprised if people start noticing this shift even before you do. Some will try to get close again, not because they've changed, but because they'll realize you've changed. The light that's emerging in you will attract attention, and not every drawn gaze will come from kindness. Therefore, your maturity will be your protection. Now you won't be deceived like before. Now you see quickly. Now you feel quickly. Now you discern quickly. The new era won't hide the attack. It will reveal everything. Nothing disguised will remain near you. The truth will always come to the surface. And when things start happening suddenly, don't doubt. Don't question whether you truly deserve it. You deserve it not because you did everything right, but because you never gave up. You deserve it not because you are perfect, but because you are faithful. You deserve it not because you never fell, but because you always got back up. The blessing was ordained because you persevered when anyone else would have stopped. Children who persevere are built to inherit, and you persevered. Now you will no longer be shaped by what happened to you, but by what is to come. You will no longer be defined by what you suffered, but by what you overcame. You will no longer carry in your identity what happened to you, but what you have become despite it. The new time will not come to shed light on wounds, but to shed light on strength. It will not come to expose your pain, but to reveal your purpose. It will not come to remind you of what you lost, but to release what you always deserved. And something important needs to be remembered. The blessing will not come to fill a void. It will come to overflow who you already are. If it had come before, it would have been anesthesia. Now, it will be a celebration. You are ready to live what will not destroy, but will confirm your true identity. There will be no fear of losing, because you will know that what comes from God is not lost. There will be no fear of being abandoned, because you will know that those who are part of your story do not back down when life gets tough. There will be no fear of the future, because you will know that the future is in the hands of the one who has sustained you until now. And when that time comes, there will be no need to make a fuss. Your own peace will be the announcement. Your smile will be the sign. Your presence will be the testimony. The light that returns to your eyes will speak louder than any explanation. The glory will not be displayed, it will be perceived, and all will see that indeed the blessing has been ordained upon you. Son, there's something you still need to understand deeply. You're not just receiving a blessing, you're becoming someone prepared to sustain it. Because there are people who receive victory and lose, not because they didn't deserve it, but because they lacked the emotional strength to handle what they received. The greatest achievement isn't attaining it, it's remaining. And now you're entering the phase where everything that comes to you will remain. because you've matured to the point where you don't depend on external factors to know who you are inside. The process taught you something no one can take away. You learned to see yourself beyond the pain, beyond the opinions of others, beyond your worst phase. There's a type of person who only believes in themselves while everything is going well, but there's another type, and you belong to it, who discovers their worth precisely in chaos. Your identity wasn't conditioned by circumstances. It solidified in silence. You weren't formed in calm, you were formed in the storm. And people who become strong in the storm become unshakable at harvest time. You will not be a frightened winner. You will be a conscious winner. You will not live looking over your shoulder in fear of losing everything. You will live with the serenity of someone who knows that what is yours cannot be taken away by human hands. You will not live trying to control everything because of trauma. You will live enjoying peace. Before, even when something good happened, fear tried to take over, as if joy was not allowed, as if everything could end suddenly. Not anymore. Now your soul is healed from expecting the worst. You are ready to trust, to rest, to receive without fear, and that's why things will start happening at a speed you haven't seen before. When the heavens accelerate, the earth adapts. You will notice opportunities arising effortlessly, the right people approaching without explanation, paths opening where there were once walls, doors being unlocked without force, not because you rushed, but because you are aligned, not because you insisted, but because the time has come. The ordained blessing does not compete, it manifests itself. Many will say you've changed, and yes, you have changed, but you've changed to return to your essence, not to abandon it. You are returning to who you were born to be before you were hurt, before you were shaped by the opinions of others, before you were affected by abandonment or rejection. You are returning to your original value, the one that existed before the world tried to convince you otherwise. And when someone returns to their own essence, everything that is true is drawn to them. Some who were around you in the past will be surprised. They never saw you whole, only fragments, pieces of someone trying to put themselves back together. Now they will see the totality. They will see the strength, the confidence, the identity, the maturity, the restored radiance. And there will be no need to prove anything, because your presence will speak for you. The strength that comes from heaven needs no introduction. It reveals itself, but it's also necessary to understand that when the new arrives, the old tries to catch up, not out of love, but out of self-interest. When people realize you've entered a phase of honor, they will try to reappear, even if they ignored you when you were hurt. Don't let them return to the same place they occupied before. The process not only elevated you, it selected you. Not everything and not everyone will accompany you to the next season. Those who didn't value your seed have no right to your harvest, and don't feel guilty about it. You're not being cold, you're being wise. Your heart isn't hardened, it's protected. You love, but you don't accept being used. You care, but you don't tolerate disrespect. You seek connections, not dependencies. Life has taught you the difference between those who approach you out of love and those who approach you out of opportunity. Now, you won't open doors to just any presence, but to every presence that resonates with your peace. And that's precisely why this new time will be light. You won't enter it with fear, but with awareness. You won't enter trying to impress, but being who you are. You won't enter begging for space, but occupying the space that was already yours. You won't enter seeking validation, but attracting respect. The place being prepared for you accommodates everything you carry. There will be no need to dim your light to fit in. There will be no need to hide your essence to be accepted. You will be honored precisely for being who you have become. And when you finally find yourself living what you've waited so long for, your heart won't say, "Why did it take so long?" It will say, "Now it makes sense." Because the pain you endured will produce mature gratitude. The tears you shed will transform into a deep smile. The seemingly endless wait will become a reminder of your evolution. You will recognize that time was not your enemy, it was your tool. The delay did not destroy your faith, it solidified your identity, and none of this will be a secret. Everything they tried to hide about you, life will reveal. Everything they tried to diminish, heaven will magnify. Everything they tried to bury, God will resurrect. Your story will not only be an external victory, it will be an internal victory reflected on the outside. The blessing that comes will not be greater than you. It will be proportional to the strong, healed and mature version you have become. The old cycle has ended, the new cycle has begun, and everything in your life will be guided by peace and no longer by pain. Son, now is the time to reveal something that many still don't understand. Blessing doesn't come to replace pain. It comes to give meaning to everything you've lived through. If victory came before the process, you would never discover the strength you carry. If love came before healing, you would depend on it to survive. If opportunities came before maturity, you would miss them due to a lack of inner structure. Nothing was by chance. Even what hurt was a teacher that molded you for the destiny that is now near. You've often wondered why you had to suffer so much to get to where you are. Why you had to lose people you loved. Why you were forgotten by those you swore to stay. Why you faced situations that broke your heart. But now you're beginning to understand. Certain pains didn't come to destroy you. They came to guide you. There are places you would never have gone if you hadn't been forced to stand up. There are changes you would never have made if comfort had remained. There are people you would never have let go of if life hadn't taken them away. Suffering didn't defeat you, it repositioned you. Many times you thought you were going backwards, when in fact you were being put on the right path. Other times you thought you were being punished, when in fact you were being filtered. It wasn't rejection, it was protection. It wasn't abandonment, it was redirection. It wasn't neglect, it was deliverance. And now, looking back, you realize that everything that left your life wasn't part of your future. And everything that remains has a purpose in the phase that is coming. And there's something even deeper for you to understand. The blessing isn't being prepared for an imaginary version of yourself, but for the real version you've finally embraced. For a long time, you adjusted yourself to please, molded yourself to avoid displeasing, shrunk yourself to fit into small spaces. But at this stage of your life, you've learned that those who can't bear to see you grow should never be by your side. The blessing comes to your essence, not to your camouflage. That's why you needed to free yourself from personas before entering this new era. Destiny demands authenticity. There will come a moment when you will clearly feel that something has shifted in the air. It won't be a vision, nor a dream, nor an audible voice. It will be an inner certainty, silent and mature. You will know that you are no longer trying, you are simply living. You will not be striving to be accepted, you will be receiving naturally. You will not be fighting to achieve, you will be attracting. You will not be asking for signs to believe, you will be walking with confidence. Nothing is more powerful than the peace of someone who knows they are in the right place. People will see it in you even before they ask what has changed. The sparkle in your eyes will return, not as an innocent sparkle, but as a wise one. Your posture will be different, not one of pride, but of awareness. Your silence will be different, not one of fear, but of confidence. You won't be trying to convince anyone of your worth. You'll simply be existing. And existing will be enough for doors to open, for respect to be earned, and for opportunities to come your way. And something needs to be said. Those who tried to diminish you will witness your rise, not because you will insist on it, but because destiny was built that way. Life doesn't repay humiliation with humiliation, it repays honor with presence. Your victory will be silent, but impossible to ignore. You won't win to prove anything to anyone. You will win because your time has come. And when the time comes, nothing can stop it. You will still see people trying to attribute your change to luck, chance, or external circumstances. They will see the change, but they won't understand the price you paid. They will witness the harvest, but they didn't know the sowing. They will see the brightness, but they didn't see the darkness. And this won't hurt you like it used to, because now you know you don't need to be understood to be honored. Validation is no longer your source. And when you fully enter this new cycle, you will feel something rare, lightness. Not that temporary lightness that comes after a fleeting achievement, but a permanent lightness born from the certainty of being supported. You will wake up with peace, live with courage, and sleep with gratitude. Life will cease to be a constant struggle and become a natural movement. And this doesn't mean you will never face challenges again, but that no one will ever see you defeated again. You will overcome difficulties with strength because now you know who you are and who supports you. And perhaps you haven't realized it yet, but you've become a mirror for others. People who observed your silent struggle will look at your victory and find hope for themselves. Your story will serve as a reminder that nothing is definitive when God ordains change. People will look at you and say, "If he could do it, so can I." That is the honor of the strong, to win not only for oneself, but for all who learned from one's journey. And now, my son, I want you to understand something with all the depth of your spirit. The blessing has already been released. What is on its way is not being decided, it is being delivered. What is to come is not being discussed, it is being consolidated. Nothing, absolutely nothing, can prevent what has already been sealed. Not delay, not envy, not contrary words, not human circumstances, not spiritual force. When heaven commands, the earth obeys. You are facing the biggest turning point in your life. Nothing will be the same again. Nothing will ever be small again. Nothing will diminish what has already expanded within you. From here on out, your journey will be marked by purpose, honor, direction, and peace. Life will no longer recognize you as someone who struggles to survive, but as someone born to win. My son, now I need to reveal something to you that often goes unnoticed, even by the most sensitive. There is a specific moment between the end of the process and the beginning of the promise, when the spiritual world moves intensely, and this is exactly the moment you are living through. It is no longer a time of pain, but it is also not yet the complete time of harvest. It is the interval where everything changes silently. It is when heaven acts in silence, so that nothing and no one can interfere with what is being built for you. The period you are in now is not one of waiting, it is one of activation. Perhaps that's why you've been feeling something different these past few days, something you can't quite explain. It's not euphoria, it's not anxiety, it's not fear. It's a feeling that something is about to happen. You feel like you're breathing different air. You feel your mind is lighter, even without any outward change. You feel your heart is more stable, even without concrete news. This isn't imagination, it's attunement. Your spirit perceives before your mind what the heavens are releasing. There were phases in your life when you needed to cry out, insist, summon strength, pray not to fall apart. This phase doesn't require fighting, it requires alignment. It's no longer about how much you resist, it's about how much you trust. Before, you held life in your hands, now it's coming to meet you. What's coming no longer depends on your exhaustion. It depends on perfect timing, and perfect timing has arrived. There are things, people, and opportunities already moving in your direction, even if you don't yet know it. There are conversations happening about you in places where your name has never been spoken before. There are doors unlocking while you sleep. There are hearts being inclined in your favor as you go about your life. There are paths being paved as you simply breathe. Not because you desperately asked for it, but because you remained faithful. And this is precisely where the beauty of this new time lies. The weight you carried will no longer be part of the next phase. Before, each step required extraordinary strength. Now you will feel lightness where before there was effort. What once drained your emotional energy will now fuel your spirit. What once depended on persistence will now come because it was destined. The victory that is coming will not have a bitter taste. It will not come with fear. It will not be accompanied by insecurity. It will be complete. And there is another sign of this time. Things that once shook you no longer have access to your inner self. Words that once brought you down now lose their power. People who once controlled your feelings can no longer affect your balance. Situations that once kept you awake at night no longer have permission to disturb your peace. This emotional detachment did not arise from neglect, but from healing. You did not harden, you matured, and maturity is the shield for those whom heaven has raised up. Perhaps that's why some people have started looking at you differently lately. Not because they see you as distant, but because they realize you're no longer dependent. Your brilliance is no longer the brilliance of need. It's the brilliance of awareness. And even if no one says it, everyone feels it when someone discovers their worth. You've discovered yours, and now nothing and no one will be able to make you doubt yourself again. What is coming to you doesn't require competition. It doesn't require haste. It doesn't require comparison. It doesn't require dispute. When a blessing is ordained, it comes to the one it was destined for, and no one can take their place. You won't need to fight for the spotlight, nor chase after recognition, nor wear yourself out to be seen. You will be found, because when heaven decides to reveal someone, no one can obscure them. And it's important that you understand deeply. What is coming now is not just a reward for what you have done, but for who you have become. God doesn't give blessings based on resumes. He gives them to aligned hearts. You didn't attract the new through perfection. You attracted it through transformation. You were shaped in pain, but now you will be honored in healing. This honor will be silent, but firm. It won't be ostentatious, it will be natural. It won't need applause, because it will already be established in your identity. Soon you will notice a very clear internal change. That old feeling of needing to prove yourself will simply disappear. You will no longer feel the need to justify your story, convince anyone of your worth, or compete for attention with those who don't respect you. All of that will be irrelevant to you. The validation you sought outside now lives within, and because it lives inside, nothing from the outside can steal it. You are entering a time when your peace will be your greatest asset, your maturity, your greatest strength, your history, your greatest spiritual weapon. Nothing can be used against you because you are no longer vulnerable where you were once wounded. What was once your weakness is now your fortress. What once hurt you now teaches you. What once afflicted you now protects you. And there will come a moment, not far off, when you will look at your life and realize that everything has changed so naturally that it will be difficult to remember when it began. There will be no grand announcement, no landmark event. The new will not arrive with a bang. It will flow smoothly. It will arrive in the same way the sun rises, silently, inevitably, transformative. You will only realize it when you notice that you are living what you once prayed for while crying. And that moment is much closer than you imagine. When it arrives, don't say, "Why only now?" Say, "Now I understand." Because you didn't wait in vain. You were prepared. My son, now that you are crossing this crucial point, there is something essential I need you to understand. When a blessing is ordained, it is not sent only to transform your life, but also to transform the environment around you. What is coming to you has the power not only to lift you up, but to lift up those who walk with you. Therefore, heaven is selective about who remains by your side in this new season. The blessing that is coming will not be sustained by fragile relationships or shallow bonds. It demands true connections, aligned with your essence and not with your neediness. Perhaps that's why some people have begun to leave your life quietly, without a fight, without apparent reason, almost as if the bond had simply dissolved naturally. Don't be alarmed by this. Each recent separation was a spiritual response, not an emotional coincidence. The blessing that is approaching demands space, demands peace, demands reciprocity. Heaven is removing from your story all the ties that could sabotage this new phase. The removal of what would not add value was not punishment. It was preparation. And just as some have drifted away, others will begin to draw closer. People who carry the same energy of building, respect, and truth. People who will recognize your worth without you needing to explain it. People who will see your heart not as an advantage, but as a treasure. The next stage of your life will involve deep connections, not of need, but of purpose, not of dependence, but of alignment, not of neediness, but of exchange. This time will be marked by something you haven't experienced before: emotional stability. You will no longer fear being replaced, forgotten, or undervalued. You will not be at the mercy of others' moods or insecurities. You will know how to differentiate presence from convenience, companionship from self-interest, complicity from control. Nothing that comes to drain you will have a place in your life. Only that which contributes to your growth will find a home. And here is a profound revelation. The blessing that is coming was not prepared to impress the world. It was prepared to completely heal you. There are things that no one knows you have silently asked for. And it is precisely on these things that God will touch first. It's not about showing something to others. It's about restoring what was once broken within you. It's about returning joy where weariness remained, hope where doubt remained, brightness where silence remained. There's a part of you that for a long time believed that happiness wasn't for everyone, as if you were born to settle for the bare minimum. That mentality is being broken now. God didn't create you to survive. God created you to live, not to beg, but to receive, not to hide, but to occupy the place that belongs to you. The blessing will not come to alleviate lack, but to usher in abundance. And when abundance arrives, you will not fear it, because there is no longer emptiness within you. What comes now will not be used as a patch for inner wounds. It will be a celebration of healing. Life will not add blessings to fill holes. It will add them to honor maturity. You will not receive because you desperately need it. You will receive because you are spiritually prepared to bear whatever comes. And there will be another sign of this new time. You will begin to feel gratitude even before the manifestation. Not forced gratitude, but that serene feeling that something enormous is coming, and you don't need to prove it or chase after it. Your heart will simply know. The Spirit perceives before the eyes see. Faith reaches before the hands touch. And that is why your soul is so different. It is anticipating what heaven has already released. You will begin to look back not with resentment, but with understanding. Old wounds will cease to sting. Difficult memories will no longer weigh you down. Dark days will no longer hurt. Nothing will hurt like before, because you are already whole. The past will cease to be a place of imprisonment and will become a place of reference, not to pull you back, but to remind you of where God brought you from. And when everything that is yours finally aligns, you will not become proud, arrogant, or superior. Pain has humbled you. Waiting has made you wise. Victory will make you generous. People will find rest near you because you will know how to welcome them with the same love you once wished to receive. Your victory will not close doors for others. It will open them. Your strength will not be used to control. It will be used to protect. Your story will not be an argument of greatness, but a testament to grace. That's why heaven chose you, because the blessing won't change you for the worse. It will reveal the best in you. It won't distance you from your purpose. It will connect you even more. It won't distance you from others, but will make you more capable of loving. You didn't receive everything ready-made to learn to be mature. You matured to receive everything ready-made. And when this new era is established, you will realize something that will deeply move you. You have become the person you always needed. That presence you sought in others for years, you have become it. The emotional embrace that never came, you learned to give it to yourself. The acceptance that seemed impossible, you found it in your own identity. You didn't need to be saved. You needed to be reminded of who you were. And when someone discovers who they truly are, no one can reduce that person to just their past experiences. Son, now that you recognize who you have become and where you are emotionally, the time has come to understand why the blessing was ordained precisely for this moment in your story. For a long time you believed that the promise was a reward for what you would do one day, but in truth, it is the result of who you already are now. It wasn't when you were strongest, nor when you felt most prepared, nor when you seemed most capable that heaven decided to give it to you. It was when you learned something that few learn, to trust without seeing. The blessing wasn't bestowed because everything around you was perfect, but because even when everything was falling apart, you didn't abandon your faith. You may have questioned, cried, felt exhausted, confused, or alone, but at no point did you give up believing that there was a greater purpose to it all. Heaven doesn't reward physical strength, extraordinary abilities, or flawless lives. Heaven rewards faithfulness, and you were faithful even when you had no answers. Every night you lay down with a wounded heart, yet still gave thanks for the day. You were building your miracle. Every moment fear tried to overwhelm you, but you chose to hold on to hope. You were opening spiritual doors. In every situation where everything seemed hopeless, but you chose to persevere, you were activating the environment where the blessing would be generated. You didn't win when the blessing arrived. You won before, when you decided to continue without having it. Therefore, when the changes begin to happen, you will not feel surprise. You will feel recognition. It will not be the feeling of, I don't deserve this, but of, I knew something was being prepared. Your spirit recognized it before your mind understood. You are not experiencing coincidence. You are experiencing consequence. Nothing is happening by chance. Everything is happening through alignment. And perhaps the most evident sign of the arrival of this new time is the silence you carry now. For a long time you sought explanations, answers, concrete reasons for the pain and the delay. Now you no longer need any of that. A profound peace has taken the place of the questions. You no longer demand to know when, how, or why. The restlessness that accompanied you for years has dissolved. The anxiety of the future has lost its voice. The guilt of not having been enough has evaporated. This inner silence is not emptiness, it is spiritual maturity. You stopped asking, please let it work out, and started affirming, I know it will happen. Indeed, and this affirmation doesn't stem from arrogance, but from the certainty that no one remains standing in the midst of the storm unless protected by something greater. Your victory will not be the result of luck, coincidence, or chance. It will be the result of who you became as life shaped you. But there is another profound point that heaven wants you to understand. Your pain will not be wasted. What tried to destroy you will become a tool to lift others up. What once brought you tears will be what wipes away the tears of others. You will become an answer for some because you know exactly what it means to cry for help and not be heard. Pain gave you sensitivity, loneliness gave you empathy, waiting gave you wisdom. And all of this now makes you an instrument of healing. The blessing that is coming will not just be for you, it will be through you. People will find hope simply by observing your transformation. People will regain faith simply by seeing your story rewritten. People will rise up because they saw you survive where so many collapsed. God did not allow you to go through what you went through for no reason. He was building in you not just someone blessed, but someone who will become a channel of transformation. And don't be surprised if, in a short time, people start seeking you out, not out of self-interest, but because they will feel that your strength is different. It's not the strength of someone who has never cried. It's the strength of someone who cried and still kept going. It's not the strength of someone who has never been afraid. It's the strength of someone who faced fear even while trembling. It's not the strength of someone who has never lost. It's the strength of someone who has been restored. Your story will inspire even when you're not trying to. And here is an even deeper revelation. The blessing that is coming will carry 3 characteristics that will be impossible to ignore. First, it will be inevitable. Nothing and no one will be able to stop it. Second, it will be evident. Even those who did not believe will have to acknowledge it. Third, it will be stable. It will not come only to be taken away later. You will not experience a temporary victory. What arrives now will be sustained by heaven, and everything that is sustained by heaven remains. You will not enter this new era fearing that everything will suddenly end, because now you know that what is yours is not lost, and what was lost was never truly yours. This awareness will be your greatest protection. No emotional manipulation will have power over you. No negative opinion will have authority. No contrary word will have any effect. Your soul is shielded, and those with shielded souls live in freedom. Life will begin to make sense in a way you've never experienced before. Every piece that didn't fit will finally find its place. Every delay will reveal its purpose. Every tear will be justified. You will look back and recognize that it wasn't futile resistance, it was divine preparation. It wasn't abandonment, it was care. It wasn't an end, it was a beginning. And when this cycle is fully established, something will happen within you. You will realize that you are no longer in a hurry. The maturity that the process has built within you has removed the despair from your heart. You will no longer be chasing the future. The future will be coming to you. The blessing has been ordained and is advancing towards you with precision. And nothing will be able to stop what has already been written. My son, now that you understand the magnitude of the blessing that is coming, it is necessary to understand the impact of this transformation on specific areas of your life. The change that is coming will not be restricted to just one aspect. It will be integral, complete, comprehensive. The victory that is about to manifest will reach your emotional life, your relationships, your paths, your opportunities, your worldview, and even that which you once believed could never be restored. When God ordains something, nothing comes halfway. You will experience a time when things that always seemed difficult will, for the first time, be simple. Not because the world has become lighter, but because you have become stronger. What once threw you off balance no longer affects you. What once paralyzed you will now become a stepping stone. You will no longer react to life. You will be guided by peace. You will not walk for survival. You will walk for purpose. You will not succeed by luck. You will succeed by wisdom. Your mind has changed, and when the mind changes, the world changes with it. And that's exactly why you'll notice a reorganization in your relationships. People who truly love you aren't scared by your healing. They celebrate your growth, but others who were in your life because they took advantage of your fragility will have difficulty dealing with your evolution. The blessing reveals intentions. And when you enter your phase of fullness, those who only knew how to approach you when you were broken will no longer have a place. Love won't use you. Love will build you up. The bonds that have remained with you until now will be those that celebrate and respect your expansion. Your emotional life will be restored so profoundly that you won't recognize who you once were. Where there was fear, there will now be security. Where there was doubt, there will now be clarity. Where there was insecurity, there will now be stability. This doesn't mean you'll never again face inner challenges, but it means you'll never again lose yourself. The confidence that is arising within your soul is unshakable, and those who have confidence no longer live asking for love. They live choosing with whom to share love. And it's not just your heart that will be restored, your paths will be too. For a long time, you felt you were walking aimlessly, as if taking one step forward and 2 steps back. But this wasn't a lack of progress. It was life preventing you from entering doors that seemed large, but weren't part of your story. Now, the right doors will open, and you will realize something rare. There will be no need to force anything. What is yours will not require emotional strain, nor negotiations with your own soul. You will be welcomed into environments where you would previously have been underestimated. Favor will accompany you. Your perception of opportunities will also change. Before, you accepted whatever came your way for fear of not having something better. Now, you will choose what truly builds you up, what respects your energy, what adds to your purpose. You will have the discernment to differentiate between what merely excites and what transforms. You will no longer be seduced by the noise of big things, but will be guided by the essence of true things. Blessing doesn't attract everything. It attracts what is compatible with you. And there will also be a drastic change in your relationship with time. You stopped believing you were behind schedule and started trusting that you were being prepared. When this truth settles in, haste no longer has dominion. Life will flow. You will make decisions calmly, take steps serenely, and build with consistency. Anxiety will no longer be your rhythm. Peace will be. And when peace is the rhythm, the result is always great. And there is something else that heaven wants you to understand. Your voice will have power. Not because you want to convince someone, but because the transformation you carry will be perceptible. When you speak after overcoming a profound process, your words carry spiritual authority. You will become a refuge for those going through pains you have already overcome. Your story will teach effortlessly. Your presence will inspire unintentionally. God will not only restore you, He will make you a reference point. And when that moment arrives, you will feel something you haven't yet experienced: belonging. You will no longer feel like you're occupying a borrowed space, nor that you need to prove anything to deserve where you are. You will know that you belong in the space you are standing in. Nothing within you will make you feel like an intruder in your own victory. Nothing will try to convince you that it's too good to be true. You will feel at home in your own achievement because it didn't come as a prize, but as an extension of your identity. As for old fears, they won't disappear from memory, but they will completely lose their power. You will remember they existed, but you will no longer feel their impact. They will cease to be a threat and become a testament. What once hurt you will be proof of how strong you were. What once traumatized you will be a bridge to help others cross their own battles. Pain prepared you, waiting matured you, victory will honor you. And something needs to be said with spiritual clarity. What is coming is not something fragile. It will not be an unstable conquest, a superficial blessing, or an unbalanced relationship. What is coming now is solid, profound, and destined to remain. It will not be something you have to protect with fear. It will be something protected by heaven. The blessing has been ordained, and therefore no one can interrupt it. You are approaching the most significant phase of your story, not because everything will be perfect, but because you will be fully aware of who you are. Life will no longer be allowed to mold you through pain. Now, it will mold you through peace. The future doesn't frighten you because you have finally realized that you are not walking alone. Heaven chose you, and heaven is fulfilling its promise. My child, this moment in your journey is decisive because you are crossing the invisible line that separates the time of survival from the time of fulfillment. For years, your energy has been consumed by simply trying to keep going, trying not to crumble, trying not to lose hope, trying to protect what little you had. Now you are entering a time where your energy will be directed towards building, expanding, celebrating, and living with purpose. The strength that once served only to endure will now serve to conquer. You are no longer fighting to stay standing. You are preparing to fly. And it's important to say you didn't reach this moment because you overcame everything, but because you gave up on giving up. It wasn't the absence of falls that brought you here, it was the ability to get up despite them. It wasn't perfection, it was resilience. It wasn't knowing everything, it was learning from everything. It wasn't being invincible, it was not allowing pain to define you. Victory was never about eliminating pain, but about not letting pain eliminate you. And that's why now, the blessing not only arrives, it remains. Much of what tore your heart apart won't leave your memory, but it will leave your soul. You will remember without suffering. You will speak of the past without trembling. You will revisit old stories and realize that what was once a source of shame is now a testament to your strength. What once wounded you will become a mark of identity, proof of your reconstruction. Nothing you experienced was a total loss. Everything served to increase your emotional and spiritual capacity. Everything prepared you. And something profound is happening now. Your vision is changing. You no longer see the world through the eyes of someone who has suffered. You see it through the eyes of someone who has overcome. Life is no longer a place where everything can go wrong at any moment. Life is now fertile ground where everything can flourish suddenly and unexpectedly. Your perspective is no longer shaped by fear of the past, but by confidence in the future. And when your vision changes, reality follows. You will begin to make decisions you previously lacked the courage to make, not out of impulsiveness, but out of clarity. You will no longer accept crumbs of love, because now you know you deserve reciprocity. You will no longer accept environments where you need to diminish yourself to be accepted. You will no longer accept silences that imprison you. You will no longer accept draining relationships. You will no longer fight to be a priority where you are only treated as an option. You will guard your heart with wisdom. And this wisdom will be the great turning point in your life. And as a consequence of this, you will attract completely different people. Those who don't know how to love will never feel comfortable around those who love them. Those who live for self-interest will never stay close to those who truly live. Those who use others will never be able to manipulate someone who recognizes their own worth. The blessing that is coming will not only be the result of connection with heaven, but also of disconnection from everything that hurt you. Your healing has expelled everything that doesn't align with your purpose. And don't be surprised if, from now on, some situations that would have broken you in the past simply pass you by without affecting you. It's not insensitivity, it's balance. It's not coldness, it's healing. It's not disinterest, it's self-knowledge. You've learned not to trade your peace for fear of losing someone. Now you know that if something costs you your peace, it costs too much. Your peace will be the filter of your new cycle, and everything that passes through that filter will be a blessing. And when everything starts to align, you'll realize something even more powerful. You're no longer afraid to be happy. Before, happiness seemed too temporary to be reliable, as if there was always a hidden price. Now you finally understand that happiness isn't a debt, it's a right. You're not guilty about feeling good. You're not afraid to smile. You don't expect something bad to happen right after something good. You've learned to allow joy, and allowing joy is one of the greatest signs of healing. From this point on, your life will enter a different rhythm. What you always felt was too big for you will now be exactly your size. You will begin to see that nothing that was promised was an exaggeration. You just needed to grow until you fit within what was already yours. And you grew. Not on the outside, but on the inside. Now, the promise fits you, and you fit the promise. Even in this time of victory, remain humble, not to please the world, but because the beauty of your story lies precisely in the fact that power never stole your purity. Pain did not harden you, it deepened you. Victory will not distance you from your essence, it will amplify it. You will not become arrogant for winning. Your soul was not molded for display, it was molded for purpose. You don't want a stage, you want meaning. And that is why heaven chooses you. And something needs to be said with spiritual clarity. What has been prepared for you is complete. It is not under construction, it is ready. And now life is simply guiding you to the place where that promise is kept. Nothing you have experienced has been wasted. Everything was a journey. Every detail, every encounter, every separation, every tear, every silent night, every day of resistance, everything was progress, even when it seemed like regression. And when you enter into your victory, no one will be able to take it away, because what comes from effort can be lost. What comes from anxiety can be sabotaged, but what comes from heaven never goes back. The blessing has been ordained, and when God ordains, there is no wind, envy, malice, or word that can stop it. You are one step away from the greatest emotional and spiritual turning point of your life, and the next step will not be forced. It will be natural. Heaven is guiding you. Son, we have reached the moment when your soul is finally ready to recognize what has always been true, but which the world has tried to erase from you. You were born to win, not to survive. Your story was never about falling, it was about rebuilding. It was never about despair, it was about resilience. It was never about abandonment, it was about transformation. Everything you once called the end was merely the ground where a new beginning was being prepared. Today, what defines you is not the pain you have lived through, but the strength you have developed. You crossed inner deserts no one knew about, endured silent battles no one noticed, swallowed tears no one wiped away. And yet you continued, even when your mind screamed that there was no reason to believe anymore. Heaven never ignored that, not once. Every night you cried and still tried to sleep with hope. Every morning you woke up weak and still took a deep breath and decided to try again. Every prayer born not from full faith, but from broken faith, paved the way for this moment. None of your efforts were in vain. The turning point coming in your life will be so profound that even you will be surprised to realize that you are living exactly what you once desperately asked for. What once existed only in your thoughts will become a real experience. What seemed impossible will become a natural part of your daily life. The joy you once begged for, feeling broken, will now come without you having to fight for it. The peace you sought in external situations will now spring from within you. The love you thought you would never have will now find you. Nothing arrives late when it's a promise. It arrives when you are ready, and you are ready. Not ready because you learned everything, but because you learned enough. Not ready because you would never feel fear again, but because you learned to walk even when afraid. Not ready because the world applauded you, but because you discovered how to stand up when no one saw your worth. You are not receiving this blessing to prove anything to anyone. You are receiving it because you finally recognized yourself. The gift wouldn't fit in a soul that lived asking permission to exist. Now it fits because you know who you are. And when this new chapter completes its cycle in your life, you will understand something that silent winners always discover. There is no greater victory than being true to yourself. You didn't need to become someone else to get here. You simply removed the weight that was placed upon you. You stopped trying to convince those who never saw you. You stopped begging for love from those who didn't know how to love. You stopped fighting for space in hearts that lacked the depth to welcome yours. Contrary to what they made you believe, the problem was never you. The problem was always carrying people who had no intention of walking with you. Now you walk lightly. Now you walk whole. Now you walk consciously. And because of that, everything that is to come will be permanent. One day, you will take a deep breath, look around, and realize that pain is no longer the place you speak from, but the place you have left. You will not be remembered as someone who suffered, but as someone who overcame. Your story will not be marked by trauma, but by transformation. Your life will not be recognized by the weight that once weighed you down, but by the strength that lifted you up. The greatness that is coming will not distance you from people. It will bring you closer to the right people. And when this cycle is complete, you will understand a profound truth. God never abandoned you. He only sustained you in silence so that your victory would not depend on human applause, but on spiritual conviction. When everything falls into place, you will see that He was always with you, in every detail, in every tear, in every closed door, in every new beginning, in every loss, in every breath. Nothing that seemed like chaos was out of control. It was construction. And now, before you move on to the next phase, I want to ask you something with all my heart and sincerity. If this message touched your soul in any way, if it brought clarity, peace, hope, or strength, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, not for numbers, not for statistics, not to inflate anything. It's so that you always have a place to return to when the world tries to make you forget who you are. Here there will always be words of healing, direction, and strength. Here you will never walk alone. And something very important, share in the comments a part of your story. Something you've experienced, something you've overcome, something you've learned, or something this message has awakened within you. It's not about showing off, it's about liberation. When you write, you materialize what you're experiencing. When you share, you help someone. When you reveal your transformation, you reconnect with your strength. Tell me what has changed in you. Tell me what you've realized. Tell me what your heart has understood. Your journey matters, and your experience can save someone who is living through exactly what you once lived through. And before we conclude, I want to leave this engraved in your mind. What is coming will not be small. It will not be unstable. It will not be temporary. It will be the complete fulfillment of what you have asked for with tears for years. Life does not give you back less than you have sown. It gives back multiplied. You did not waste time. You were molded. And now victory is placing your name where it has always belonged. The blessing has been ordained. Nothing can revoke it. Nothing can delay it. Nothing can prevent it. You did it.